For taking over as assistant coach is the managing director of Fios Window Systems, Colin Deans, better known as Scotland and the British Lions. So what would the Greens' strategy be against Selkirk?
It all depends on the conditions, I suppose, at the end of the day, but it all depends what the way Selkirk play, because they've got some very good backs, very exciting backs, who could probably change a game in a matter of 5 minutes. So I think we'd need to be looking to close those guys down, maybe tuck them in midfield, and then we're hoping to maybe attack the blind play a bit.
Coaching a First Division rugby club is no child's play, and Selkirk assistant coach John Rutherford has had more than his share of problems this season with a string of injuries in the club. So how are the Philip Hawk players bearing up?
Actually, just now, the spirit in the camp's great. I mean, I know we've lost Packy and Graham Marshall and Buckley, and both our props and Ian Middleton, so it's a new pack. But these young guys, they never miss training. They're really keen and we're determined to build a new team.
So the stage is set here at Philip Hawk for a fascinating encounter with both coaches confident of victory. Selkirk take the field without Iwan Tukalo, while Hawick with Greg Oliver to his Scotland position at scrum half. A typical no-holds-barred Border League derby looked on the cards. It was Hawick who drew first blood. Fly half Scott Welsh dropping a neat goal from 30 metres out. Much to the delight of Father Rob on the touchline. Even at this early stage of proceedings, tempers soon came to the boil. Selkirk vice-captain Keith McConnell squared up to Greens internationalist Derek Turnbull following a ruck, and neither player was prepared to back down. Eventually, referee Bobby Clark stepped in to pour oil on troubled waters, but the tone had been set for a bruising encounter. Soon afterwards, Hawick stretched their lead when fullback Gregor Sharp squeezed over a penalty kick. At last, Selkirk's backs got the chance to show their paces, with Jeremy Brett releasing Michael Jaffrey on a penetrating run upfield. The move was carried on by Paul Minto, whose chip ahead was safely gathered by Scotland winger Tony Stanger. Having weathered the storm, the Greens then extended their lead in the 20th minute with a Scott Welsh penalty. Selkirk hit back through Scott Nichol, who made a break inside, but finding no one in support threw out a pass. Keith Amos picked up and in turn passed on to Ian Jeffrey. Although he was stopped by Tony Stanger close to the line, Billy Gentleman was on hand to go over for the try. Just reward for a typically free-flowing Selkirk attack. Undoubtedly Selkirk's most impressive player on the day, Scott Nichols' eye for the half chance set up the try. Keith Amos found himself in the right place at the right time, and although Ian Jeffrey's hopes of glory founded on the rock-solid frame of Tony Stanger, the never-say-die suitors were not to be denied, and Billy Gentleman showed a cool head by picking up and diving over for a spectacular try. Pow's conversion kick sailed over, leaving Selkirk 2 points adrift at half-time. After Gregor Sharp had increased Hawick's lead with a penalty, the Greens finally managed to break through. Tony Stanger made ground on the right before being cut down by Paul Minto. The ball was eventually moved wide to Brian Rennick. Scott Welsh then combined with David Grant, who cut inside and handed over to Dave Taylor. He made good ground before Keith Scott picked up and drove over from every prop's favourite distance, a couple of metres. In fact, it was Dave Taylor's strength in the tackle which kept alive the momentum of the whole move, and even the combined efforts of Keith Amos and Derek Wood couldn't prevent the touchdown. Feather in the cap for the Scotland under-21 forward. Welsh's conversion put the Greens out of sight. Final score, Selkirk 10, Hawick 19.
Selkirk had the chances. We were lucky that they didn't take them.
John, obviously another defeat. Difficult to pick up
major tournaments at world level.
Well, that wonderful